boy in Florida found alone inside a car near where his mother was murdered. Higher education.
We are also going to eliminate all DEI and CRT bureaucracies in the state of Florida.
Seeing a shakeup from Tallahassee. Plus, Donald Trump is on the campaign trail and taking aim at someone who hasn't yet announced.
Ron would have not been governor if it wasn't for me.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Amanda Gray.
I'm Hawa Ezel. Today is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023.
Live from the FIU Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Former President Trump is all alone on the campaign trail as he begins his third presidential campaign. He's a candidate that thrives on confrontation with opponents.
Now he's taking aim at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, even though the governor isn't officially running. With the 2024 presidential election less than 2 years away, former President Donald Trump has already launched his campaign for presidency. But a new report out shows that a number of Republicans no longer want Trump in the White House. During campaign rallies in New Hampshire and South Carolina over the weekend, Trump pushed back on the criticism while taking shots at his possible 2024 rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
I would have not been governor if it wasn't for me. When I hear he might run, I consider that very disloyal, but it's not about loyalty. But to me it is. It's always about loyalty.
Trump and DeSantis were once allies, both publicly supporting each other throughout their political careers.
Is this Trump country or what? You have only one choice, Ron DeSantis for governor. He's going to be a great, great governor.
Yet, Trump and DeSantis may now be facing off in a 2024 presidential primary as DeSantis is gaining momentum in the Republican Party.
Obviously, Ron DeSantis is looking to run for president, which is fine. And he'd probably win New Hampshire right now, without a doubt.
Regardless, Trump says he is back and ready to see the inside of the White House again.
We don't do prevent defense. We just keep defending, and we're going to win, and we're going to win very big.
As of now, the former president still remains the lone GOP candidate in the field. The former president's campaign stops in New Hampshire and South Carolina over the weekend are two key early states in the presidential nominating process.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is cracking down on diversity and inclusion initiatives at state universities. DeSantis says that he is planning to ban spending money on diversity, equity, inclusion programs, which he calls discriminatory. The proposal is one of his top priorities this year, with the governor wanting to focus on Florida's future workforce needs instead.
We are also going to eliminate all DEI and CRT bureaucracies in the state of Florida. No funding, and that will wither on the vine. And I think that that's very important because it really serves as an ideological filter, a political filter.
This decision comes amidst a string of changes in Florida's college and university curriculum. Earlier this month, the president of Florida's two-year community colleges announced that they would not be teaching critical race theory.
An ongoing homicide investigation in Tampa after a mother was found dead. The woman's body was discovered yesterday next to an SUV with a toddler asleep inside. According to investigators, the woman in her 20s had trauma to her upper body. A person walking in the area found the victim. The child, who was less than 2 years old, was not hurt and is now under the care of a relative.
Federal Reserve officials could be raising interest rates in this week's meeting. For the first time this year, Federal Reserve officials are meeting to discuss a raise in interest rates. This would be the 8th increase in a row, but economists say it's the smallest increase yet. Before we start seeing prices lower, the feds will be raising the cost of borrowing for American businesses and households.
Vinyl in view here in South Florida this morning. An event over the weekend celebrated the culture around records. And as the network's Paloma Pimentel reports, there's another such event coming up.
Today, we are at Oasis Wynwood, where the Miami Record Fair is taking place and where music fanatics have gathered to either listen, buy, or simply discover new music. The Miami Record Fair is a free and public event that is hosted on the last Sunday of every month by the record label Terrestrial Funk, where local vinyl collectors gather and sell their timeless records.
Kind of started it to get more records and be able to build my own collection, but I've created so much memories, and that's really what kept me going into doing it. It's not really a business, it's just more of sharing good things with other people. So
Beginning its seats in 2018 at the bar Gramps, the fair then moved to Oasis Wynwood after the 2020 pandemic for a cooler and bigger indoor space.
Collecting now is fun because there's so many more people into it. It's a more active market, but also at the same time, like, it's harder to get a deal because people know what they have, and there's so much more information in the market to understand the value of records.
The crowds walked in and out of the event, and some stuck around to hang out in either the indoor or outdoor lounging areas that were accompanied with an open bar.
Being able to like actually hold a piece of music and play it like all the way through, it's a different concept. It sounds differently sometimes too, and it just sounds crisper and different in so many different ways, and it's nice to actually like hold it and like something tangible.
The combination of music and art is what keeps the hobby and passion of vinyl collection alive and flourishing.
If you didn't get the chance to come this past Sunday to buy records, no need to fear because the Miami Record Fair will be here at Oasis Wynwood on the last Sunday of every month. I am Paloma Pimentel in Miami, reporting from the South Florida Media Network.
South Florida is icy hot and nearly ready to host the NHL All-Star Game.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Mitchell beat the clock and scored to end the third quarter, tying the game.
Had all things tied up after 3 quarters in Cleveland. Kenneth has the highlights. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Oh. Frenzied fourth, the Heat needing every second as they try to move up in playoff seeding. We know it was close. What we don't know is if the Heat won.
Kenneth Bueno joins us now with a quick look at sports.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kenneth Bueno, and I'll bring you your sports report from the sideline. We'll start with the Heat just barely slipping by to win last night on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Performing well under pressure, the Heat's Jimmy Butler led in points with 23 on the night. Bam Adebayo, Caleb Martin, and Tyler Hero also each added 18 points to the scoreboard. And after 45 rocky minutes, the Heat made key last plays in the moments of the game to win by 3. The final score was Heat 100, Cavaliers 97. The Heat will move on to play the Knicks in New York tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. 7-time Super Bowl champion and football legend Tom Brady is finally hanging up the helmet. He made the announcement from a place that looks a lot like Miami Beach, where the 45-year-old Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback announced on social media that he is retiring for good, exactly a year after announcing his retirement in 2022 and returning to the field.
I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So Won't be long-winded. I think you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
Brady is a part-time South Florida resident and the all-time leader in passing yards and touchdown passes. He announced his retirement after 23 years in the NFL. The first thing that gamers will see before firing up the newest MLB title will be a member of the Fish. Marlins outfielder Jazz Chisholm is the new face of MLB The Show 23, becoming the first Bahamian-born player to grace the cover after showing out in the 2022 season before facing injury. Chisholm is also the first Marlins player on the front cover in the history of the show's franchise. Over the weekend, the NHL All-Star Game is going to be hosted right here in Miami, and FLA Live Arena is ready and fired up. The Twitter account for the arena posted this yesterday morning. They have all their staff working hard to have the ice ready for the National Hockey League's best skaters to play on. The game will be this Saturday on February 4th at 3 p.m. Amanda Hawa, back to you.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Hawa Ezel.
I'm Amanda Gray. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.